Sure, post office staffing can help you.
Yes, ma'am. I had a problem some time ago with a package that was lost, and they were trying to trace it for me, and I wanted to find out whatever came of that.
What's your last
Number
name?
36.
Okay, I kind of remember that. Let me get your phone number. There's no supervisor here to ask how that's going. Okay, I'll have to give you a call back.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Thanks. Right. Now, so far as delivery services, you have three major services to choose from, and that is Federal Express, UPS, and the post office. Now, my experience with them is I try not to deal with Federal Express or UPS if I can help it. Federal Express, in my experience, tends to lose a lot of things. As a matter of fact, literally 3 out of the last 5 deliveries I've received from Federal Express were misdelivered. They sent them to the wrong place, and they had to track them down, recover the package, and bring it to me. This happened once. They recovered the package and returned it to me, and it got to me days later. The second time, the person they delivered it to by mistake actually brought it to me by reading the address off the package and taking it where it was supposed to be. Fortunately, they were honest enough to bring it back. And the third time, rather than returning it to me, they returned it to the sender. And then I got on the phone with their supervisor and they were like, wow, we're sorry. I don't know why it was returned when I had actually even given instructions that it was to be brought directly to you. So, and this is partly due to the fact of how hardly they're pushed. These guys are rushed. You see them running back and forth to their trucks. But like I said, in my own experience, I don't know how it is for you if you use them. Federal Express misplaces things. And that was just a recent example. I've had them misplace things a lot. And even the person who sent me the package that was returned to them that they had to resend again, which they used UPS to resend it actually, um, had problems themselves in California, several occasions where Federal Express had misplaced things. UPS typically does not misplace anything, but they will bust your stuff up. They're also very rushed and they're not very careful. And the majority of things that have come to me broken that were properly packed, because I've shown bad packaging before, and that's usually the post office. And it's not the post office's fault if something was packed wrong, but UPS stuff is usually well packed, but they're still really rough on it. I think the drivers just assume that it's packed well enough because it's UPS, and that's not always the case. At the very least, your boxes are beat to hell a lot of times. So UPS concerns me with how rough they are on packages. Now, the post office is usually pretty good about it. They don't lose things, and unless it's packed really badly, they're not too bad with it. I haven't had the post office lose something in 2 years, although they have just recently lost something about a month ago. And this is where the post office really falters, is because if something goes wrong, they can't handle it. They don't know what to do. Now, it was May 20th that this package was lost. Oh, I'm sorry, March 20th that it was lost. And it's now April 26th. And they still can't figure it out. It was misdelivered and they don't know where it was brought to. And they said that, well, we think that it might have been put in the wrong box, the wrong postage package box, because it's being delivered to one of those like neighborhoods where they have all the boxes out on the corner instead of the driver having to go through the whole neighborhood to drop the packages and letters off. And they have the big package boxes. But the mailman says, well, I wasn't here that day. Somebody covered for me. They don't know who covered for him. And the top 2 boxes, the keys are missing and they can't get into them. And they said, oh, well, we're going to get maintenance down there to open them up. It could be in one of those. Well, 30 days later, and 4 phone calls and 2 different supervisors, and they still haven't gotten maintenance down there to even open them to see if it's even in there. Most likely it was misdelivered to somebody and they just stole it. This is this is the problem. I mean, they're really good about delivering stuff because they go to the same places over and over and over. So there's a routine to it. But if they mess something up, forget it. They'll never get it figured out. The last time I tried to file a postal claim for something that they were responsible for damaging, it took, I think, 8 months for the investigation. 8 months for one of their postal inspectors to get around to that case. So when something goes wrong, they can't manage it. Aside from that, deliveries, um, keeping stuff relatively on time, and keeping stuff safe despite bad packaging. And price wise, the post office is still kind of the best bet for having stuff delivered.